see you. I was listening to some messages recently, a couple by Bill Clinton. One, he spoke to Columbia College, and another one he spoke to the graduating class of Harvard in 2007. In both of those speeches, he shared a story that I thought was pretty cool, and it was, I see you. He said, in working in Africa, he didn't specify the country, but in working in Africa, he found that when people pass each other on the path, what they say to one another, much as we would say, hi, how are you? Or if we were in the South, we'd say, hey, because that's what they seem to say there. What they say there translates in English as, I see you. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I see you. That's S-E-E, not the letter C. In this world of everybody thinking about me, in this world where lots of times we don't see anyone other than ourselves. I mean, if we were to look around, or not look around, if I just asked you, what color is the person wearing sitting next to you? Could you answer that question? I mean, you might be looking now. Yeah. But could you answer that question? I see you. We're so busy concerned about ourselves that many times we don't take the time to look at other people. Take the time to find out who they are. President Clinton also shared another story. He shared a story about being in one of the countries that was really devastated by the tsunami. And there, he saw a child that he said was the most beautiful child that he had ever seen. His interpreter told him that this child was the youngest of 9 children. Their siblings had all perished because of the tsunami. The person that was the president's guide was the father, and the mother was there too. She was involved with taking care of children. And I thought, wow. He thought, wow, too, because he never would have known from the experiences he was having with them that they had suffered that type of devastation to their family. How many times do we run across people that have suffered a lot of devastation? I run into people all the time that as I talk to them, they share how their past has been that they've been abused. They've been sexually abused as children. They've been sexually abused as adults. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Orlando with some people that I had never met. They were my roommates. And one of them shared that in growing up, she had actually seen her father rape her mother in front of her as a child. We just don't know what various people have experienced because we oftentimes don't take the time to see them. I see you. Who are we? Many times we don't even know who we are because many times we've been told who we're supposed to be. You know, I think that probably some time ago, particularly in rural areas where people had family businesses, the thought was that you'll be the grocery store person because that's what your father did. He ran the grocery store in that town. Your grandfather did it before. Your great-grandfather did it. That's what you'll do. So you have never really thought about, who am I? Maybe your teacher told you you'd make a great, and you just went down that path. Maybe your parents told you something, a sibling, friends. Maybe you have not ever taken the time to sort of think about, who am I? What makes me me? What motivates me? What excites me? So that people can see you. I also thought that people like people. We are so into technology today. Everybody has probably gone to a restaurant and looked around and noticed how many people are. Has anybody seen a commercial that's, I can't remember whether it's for a cable company or for Verizon, but there's a commercial where somebody invites a bunch of friends over and everybody's talking about how fast the internet service is. Have you all seen that commercial? Mm-hmm. Everybody has their device and the host says, she starts to say things to people to sort of get their attention, like, I'm getting ready to lay an egg. Oh, good. You know, because they're not paying attention. Everybody is so into themselves. We don't communicate anymore. There's a song that's by Matthew West. The title of the song is My Own Little World. How many of us are in our own little world? If you watch the video, it shows him getting up in the morning, alarm clock goes off. He thinks he's in a good place, he has a great job, not worried about money, not worried about safety, not worried about food, not worried about clothing, brushes his teeth, gets ready to go to work, drives to work, passes by things, not paying attention to anything. And for some reason on this particular day he looks and he sees a homeless person with a sign. And his first thing he does is presses the lock to make sure that his car is secure. But how many times do we pass people like that that we don't even see? We don't think about, that could be me. I could be homeless. I could be hungry. I could be unemployed. Do we see people, or are we so caught up in our own little world? The video also shows that he decides on one particular day to actually look at the sign that the lady's holding that says that she's a widow and homeless. And he actually decides to make a difference in her world by giving her some money. He starts to see things, and I think as people, we really do like people. We really do like to help people. So I would encourage you to look for opportunities to make a difference in the world. Look around. How long does it really take to give someone a smile? To ask someone how they're doing? Wait to find out what the response is so that you can really know people. Because it's important, I think, for us to know one another, to know our parents, to know our children, to know our siblings. Do we really know them? Stop and have conversations. I always say press the pause button and stop and get to know people. What do they like? So that you can really feel like you know them and that you can say, when you're passing people, that I see you.